Auction time. This is a 7C series auction. 7C01. I made this on video or not? Yeah, I made it on video, but I sharpened it off camera. So this is what it looks like now, all sharpened up. Okay, excuse me. Let's look at the translucency and transparency. Yeah, that's the interesting part. Haha. All right. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so you can see how I made the biface on video. The length is 5.5, a little bit, tiny bit over, and 2 1/8, maybe a little bit over, 2 3/16 inches. So when I make the biface, I try to get rid of all the step fractures before I sharpen it. Try to get it nice and smooth so that the last minute flakes will be easier. This material, luckily, was not all that difficult to nap, because the flakes, some of the flakes like to be nice and flat. Yeah, if the flakes like to be really curved, it'll start diving in the middle or create islands. You know, if the flakes start diving too soon. Some material likes to have flakes that are very curved. Some material will tolerate flat flakes. This tolerates flat flakes pretty well, this triple flow. Not all triple flow is the same, though. Some of it is lower grade and will break up before it makes a long flake. Yeah, unfortunately. All right, so that's that one. 7C02. This one is completely on video. Yeah, it's a northern point. And what I did is after I did the biface, I did the notching and then the sharpening. And what I'm doing nowadays mostly is I'm doing one pass on each edge to sharpen it instead of 2 passes. It saves me time, and I think I like the look of it. Okay, so that you can see there's a series of small flakes, kind of long and narrow, to sharpen it on each side. And up here I didn't need to flake it very much with the pressure flaker to get it sharp. I think I took some extra time with the percussion flaker on the tip to make it thin. Okay, so this one is 4.5 by 1 3/4. And let's look at the translucency. Yeah. This one's really cool. I need to keep some of these for myself because I'm starting to like this translucency stuff with the transparent areas. I mean, transparency stuff. Yeah, I need to start keeping some of these for a keeper case. But for now, I need to get more material like this. This material is from Alan Cole or Bill Taylor. I forget which one. Maybe from both. They both sent me kind of the same stuff. It naps well, and it has nice properties as far as transparency in some areas. Okay. 7C03 is a sinew string. This is made with a combination of backstrap sinew and leg sinew. The backstrap sinew I use for the loop until about, 4 inches down. And then the rest of it is leg sinew. And I believe it's elk backstrap up here for the loop, and then deer leg sinew for the rest. Yeah, I would. And it's coated after it's dried. I coat it with Type Bond 3 glue to waterproof it. It doesn't completely waterproof it, but I think it does keep it from getting ruined by water. If like it gets rained on or something, it'll easily dry out because it has that waterproof coating over the top. It also makes it a lot stiffer when I put the Type Bond glue on it, which may or may not appeal to you. It's 53 inches long from the tip of the loop down to, there's a knot in the bottom here. And this may be a little short, but yeah, for most bows. But yeah, it's very stiff. It's about 1/8 inch in diameter. Yeah, mostly 1/8 of an inch in diameter. Some areas are a little bit thinner, some areas are a bit thicker. But 45 pounds is about the most I would trust it with. 45-pound draw on the small bow. I think it'll handle more than that, but as it starts to wear, the short strands of the leg sinew, which were only about 6 inches to start with. Yeah, they're only about 6 inches to start with. They only overlap maybe 4 inches because, you get a little bit of waste. They overlap each other by 4 or 5 inches only. I'd rather have a lot more overlap than that as far as the length. But it does make an effective short string. If you're interested, I'm going to make more of these, and they'll be longer than this. I just made it that short because I ran out of time on this one. Yeah, but yeah, I'm getting faster and faster. I think the first string like this took me 3 hours, and this one took maybe an hour and a half. So I should be speeding up as time goes on. 7C04 is a small box of Georgia Chert root beer. No. Butterscotch. Yeah, Georgia Chert butterscotch high grade. The box is 6 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so it's not a big box. These flakes are not big. These are all raw flakes. 2 3/8 on that one. You can get 2-inch long arrowheads out of this. I tried to pick the ones that are the flattest from my stash of flakes. I'm not going to use all these. I have more of these, but I'm saving them for myself. But I tried to pick out the flattest ones for this little box. Okay. This one is the longest one, I think. 3.5 by 1 3/4 right there. Yeah, so high grade butterscotch. I don't think it has. Well, this one is not a high grade. That one has a crack. So I just noticed that. Yeah, right there. When you look at it from this angle, you can't see the crack, but if you look at it from here, it definitely has a crack in it. Yeah, so that one doesn't qualify. I'll fill up the box with enough flakes to make it completely full. I've got some more of these flakes, so it's not that difficult to fill up the box. Okay. Some of these are just extremely thin. But yeah, I try to pick the flattest ones I have. And it's all raw, high grade butterscotch. This one has a little bit of swirl in it. And I think I snapped it here while I was spalling. See, the swirl presents some weak areas, so just be aware. Wherever you see a piece of swirl in it, it might be weak. Like this is probably the only one that has a weak spot, other than maybe that one right there. But yeah, this is just chip around the edges type stuff. Or you can heat treat it. I recommend no higher than 375 degrees for heat treating this stuff. Sometimes it'll even respond at 325 degrees. So I would start at 325 degrees and see if it helps. If you want to heat treat it, this stuff is not for beginners because it's difficult to nap in the raw state when you want to make little arrowheads. It naps pretty good if you want to make a big arrowhead or a big knife because you have a lot of mass in the workpiece. These are a little more difficult to work with. Okay, so just be aware. All right. $7C05. Again, this is a 6-inch by 4-inch box. Okay, these are bifaces of obsidian, and some of it is let's see. Okay, there's only one piece that's broken. I was going to say some of them are broken, but there's only one broken piece. I'm going to measure it, and I'm going to measure them, and I'll show you the translucency or transparency. Okay. It is triple flow. Okay, so this is a broken piece, 2.5 inches long. This one's got bubbles in it, so it's a bit crunchy. It's a lower grade triple flow, but it still has those cool designs in it, or bandings. You just can't see it as well because it's got smoky instead of clear areas. All right, so this one's 4 1/8. This one is, let's see if I can get, sometimes you have to get the right angle in order to see all the transparency. Yeah, but this one's thinned down. This is a high grade. Let's see, is it a high grade? Well, on this side, it has less bubbles than that side. So one side is higher grade than the other. The bubbles usually indicate a lower grade. It just turns out that way. 3.5 inches. This one doesn't have any red in it. So it's like a midnight lace, I think they call it, if it's just black and clear. Okay. This one is 3 7/8, and I would say this is on a higher grade scale, but it naps better down here than up here, so it's not consistent. Okay, just be aware. Yeah, nice piece of triple flow. This one is, let's see. Yeah, this one is a high grade piece. 3 1/4. Yeah, I've got a lot of bifaces in this particular auction because I didn't nap them all. Yeah. So I'm offering them in the auction. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5 bifaces. Yeah. Okay. 7C06 is a box of high-grade heat treat Keokuk flakes, flat flakes. Okay, 2 1/4 by 2 inches by, I don't know, 3 3/8. So they're about that size. Okay, you can kind of figure it out. So this is the smallest or most narrow one. I try to pick the flattest ones I have. Most of the Keokuk that I have is very curved as far as flakes go, but it does produce some flat flakes once in a while. This Keokuk I bought, so these are just pieces from bifaces that I made, but I purchased this material. So it's not a gift. You know, it's not from someone that had gifted it to me. So yeah, just high grade. If you don't know what high grade Keokuk looks like or naps like, now's your chance to see. This is high grade stuff. Okay? Just thin, small, flat flakes. The kind of stuff you pick up from debitage, some of the largest pieces that you might find at a nap-in in their debitage piles. This is the kind of stuff that I pick out of debitage from nap-ins. Okay? All right. I think that's enough to fill up this box. If it doesn't fill it up all the way after packing it carefully, I just put more in there. All right. 7C07. Last but not least, a box of refined bifaces, but they're not sharpened. Okay. Let's get out the transparency device. All right. Here we go. This is triple flow, has a little bit of red at the tip. Okay. 3 1/8. So these are thinner than the first bifaces that I shown, right? They're all going to be relatively thin. All right. This is triple flow. And it's mid-grade. Yeah, it's a bit crunchy. It's a mid-grade triple flow. This is a piece of banded. Almost 4 5/8. It has no translucency. This is from a different batch of gray banded obsidian that I napped several weeks ago. And I was going to make some points out of it for this auction and the upcoming auction, but didn't get around to it. Okay. Did I measure? I think I measured it. Yeah. 4 5/8 by 1 5/8. I think this is the longest one in here. Yeah. This is a little semi-transparent obsidian. It's kind of a smoky or blotchy obsidian. The 2 1/8 by 1 5/8. I think this was a snapped tip. Maybe from the other piece that was broken. No. I don't know where I got this piece. If it was snapped, I can't remember. But it was sitting in my stash for a while, and I was going to nap it, but didn't get around to it. I could save it for next week, but I got other stuff lined up for next week. This is a mid-grade obsidian that's got banding. This is a crunchy type of obsidian. 3 5/8 by 1 3/8. So when it's mid-grade or lower grade obsidian, I don't recommend it for beginners. But if all you want to do is sharpen and notch it, then and you're a beginner, then it'll be okay. Right? These are all relatively thin. You don't really need to do anything to them except sharpen them up. Another banded piece, not translucent. Yeah, I think one of these had a diving flake, and I managed to work it out. Yeah, whenever you get a diving flake, there's always a chance where you have a remnant of that fracture. But I got all the remnants of all the fractures out. There's no issues with cracking or flakes that haven't finished, like a step fracture or anything like that. 4 1/8. 1 5/8. Right? Okay. Another piece of banded obsidian. 2 7/8 by 2, or almost 2. These banded obsidian pieces are all very similar, and they're all very crunchy, especially when it comes to sharpening. Okay, so just be aware that these are not easy to sharpen. Okay? Okay. I gotta pick up the little glass shards. Hold on. Because if I don't, I'll rub my eye because one of them will probably get stuck to my fingers. All right, this has semi-translucency or transparency. Yeah, it's high-grade stuff though. It napped very well. 2 1/8, 2.5 by 1.5 inches. Yeah, I know that this napped well because I did it this morning. Yeah, I quickly thinned it down this morning, and it was not difficult to thin it. Okay, all right. And last but not least, this is a buttery, very dark. Yeah, this is a black. It's got some banding in it. It's very subtle though. It's mostly black. It's not translucent. Let's see, 2.5 by 1 5/8 inches. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bifaces in that box. And the box is 6 inches, 6 inches by 4 inches, okay? And that's about as many as I can fit in a box and have them all wrapped individually and packaged nice and safely so they won't break in transit. Okay. Yeah, I got to be careful with those thin bifaces in transit because those are the ones that snap when I ship them. Yeah. All right. Rules. Okay, these are just a short version of the rules. I'm using these little note cards. Okay. There will be an auction here every Monday. I will post the auction video at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I'll try to get it posted at 4 p.m. Sometimes I might be late. And they will end at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Every time. That I won't be late on. Okay? You bid in the comment section. If you're not able to post a comment, you will not be able to participate in the auction. You bid under one or more of my pre-populated comments. Please include the item number if you're not sure you placed your bid in the correct place. Okay? Kind of self-explanatory. Try not to bid at the last minute. I'm using YouTube's time tracker and it's not always accurate. Okay, just fair warning. Okay, I reserve the right to call the winner as I see fit in any case. Right? Okay, so there's been issues where it's been very close and people have been bidding at the last minute. And sometimes YouTube says you're late, even though you and I both know you're on time. But I got to use a time tracker that everybody sees. So that's why I use YouTube's time tracker. All right? Okay. Look at my previous auctions to see how they work. If you have questions, you can email me or post your questions in the comments section. So my email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. All right. There is a description of the auction in the description box. I also post this short video clip every time in case you don't like reading. Yeah. There will be a hard close of the auction at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It depends on your time zone, though. It ends at 8 if you're on Central Time, 7 if you're on Mountain Time, and 6 if you're on Pacific Time. Make sure you account for your time zone. Okay? All right. I will begin announcing winners 1 minute after the top of the hour. It may take me up to 45 minutes to announce all the winners, though. Okay, so give me some time to announce all the winners. I will start at 1 minute after the top of the hour because I refresh the comment section to make sure I see everyone's comment and I know what time they bid. Okay. I will hit the heart button if you win. This is the only notification you will receive. There is no private messaging in YouTube. And I will not hunt you down on Facebook or anything like that to announce that you are the winner. I will put a heart on the winning bid. I will heart it or love it or whatever it's called. Okay? All right. As a last resort, I can bid for you if you contact me before the auction ends. However, I will not bid for you closer than 5 minutes prior to closing. Okay? So keep that in mind. Again, my email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. You can email me if you're having trouble. You can bid as many times as you like. I will only charge you the amount that beats the next highest bidder. This helps to prevent sniping. Okay, so if you're not sure what that means, just look at previous auctions. You'll see that some guys bid a lot toward the end of the auction. They start putting in bids at the last minute just so someone won't snipe them for like $2. You know what sniping is, right? If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Did I skip one? No. I will hit the like button if and when I see your bid. It may take me a while, but as the time approaches the closing, I check more frequently. Okay, so this is how you know that I'm seeing your bids or comments. I will hit the like button. Okay, this is very important, especially if you're new. If you suspect that your comments or bids are not being seen, try asking if I see your comments bids. You ask in the comment section. If I don't respond, I can't see your comments or bids. All right, pretty obvious. So if I can't see your comments or bids, you got to try something else, like restart your phone or use someone else's phone or get on your computer to try to bid, or send me an email. Figure out what's going on, because it's usually on your end, right? Yeah. So just try different methods to try to get your comments visible. Shipping is free in the US. International shipping is discounted but not free. Okay? Free in the US, but international shipping is not free. It's $10 extra for a light package, 1 pound or less, and $20 extra if it's heavier than that. Okay? So your international shipping is discounted, but it's not free. Shipping is free in the US. I ship all items through the US Post Office. I will always provide tracking numbers. I will issue refunds if requested. Oh, yes. If you are the winner and you're new, you'll need to email me your name, your address, and preferred method of payment. Or you can ask me what I prefer. I usually prefer PayPal, but I have different payment methods that I use. I accept Venmo, Cash App, PayPal.me, Zelle. Okay, just we'll arrange this in the emails. Okay. Okay, that's it for the cheat notes. Good luck, everybody.